Hi everyone, this is Ellison Never, the modern day sage, with a post full moon in Virgo full moon energy read. Okay. So it's been a couple of days since the full moon in Virgo. Today is Saturday, March 3rd, and this full moon happened on March 1st in some parts of the world, March 2nd in others. Wow, did you see that? Did you see that? The energy is crazy. I had to take a deep breath. Spirit's not playing. This is the energy of the full moon. That kind of like stunned me a little bit because that's never happened before. But this is the energy of full moon. You coming into your true power. Seriously. It may say different on different sites if you are into astrology and have read some articles. But I feel with this full moon in Virgo, it offers the energy of the Virgin. And the Virgin is all about, starting things anew, starting things fresh, starting things from a different perspective. And I feel like a lot of people may have had to release quite a bit in a short amount of time to truly free them up. Okay, some of these things that, we let go could be more so long term or things that we have let go in the past. But as of recent, I feel like some of the final strings have been cut to those things that do not serve us, whether it's a situation, a job, a relationship, a belief, whatever those things were leading up to the full moon has now finally been released. And now we're stepping in brand new, fresh energy, the energy of the Virgo, where these things are manifesting in a practical way, meaning these things are actually here now. Practical. You can use them in your everyday life. Things are manifesting. You are in your true power to manifest as the manifester you are, as the co-creator you are. You're standing in your full power. Especially if you are a part of my soul tribe or those who are led to watch this video. You will know who you are because you will feel it in your heart what I'm saying. And as you see, the lights went out. This is very powerful. Like I said, I feel like I'm operating in that energy now. Seeing things new, seeing things fresh. Operating in my full power. Stepping up to my divine birthright as a co-creator. And everyone's journey is different. We had to take different ways to get to this place of empowerment, or what others may call enlightened state, enlightened and empowered. To me, goes hand in hand. Empowered, meaning you're calling back your power. You are standing in your power. Your power lies within. And that's the same thing with enlightenment. Okay. My son, he is such a wonderful being. He always make sure that I know he's around. So let's going back to this energy of the full moon in Virgo. So a lot of people are becoming empowered. I probably said that word several times now, but it's very important to know things are happening now. Things are happening. There are new insights, even when it comes to certain habits, certain behaviors, certain psychological triggers. And what I mean by that, those things that we experience on a day-to-day basis, or we may experience not necessarily on a day-to-day basis, but those things that emotionally get us fired up and make us feel a certain type of way. Okay. So with the energy, a lot of people are taking on the mindset of getting things done. No matter what type of distractions try to come, or what type of whatever the thing at focus is, the thing that you want to see manifested, it's a get done type of attitude that comes with this energy, which is the Virgo. The sign of Virgo is known for its work ethics. So a lot of people are focused at the mission at hand, whatever that mission may be that we want to see manifested. And no matter what comes along the way to try to stop this, it's like, okay, let me handle that and come right back to it. There's no further distractions. I feel like a lot of people are really locked in to their mission, and it's manifesting. They may be seeing signs of this. I know I am. There were some things that I had to cut ties with from my past, even beliefs, certain situations, certain vibrations. I had to release myself from them in order to gain a new perspective on it, in order to gain a new perspective on my mission. And now, with no attachments to anything, I'm focused. Absolutely focused. Even when it comes to one of my biggest issues, was the survival stress. I made up in my mind that once I was able to solve any survival stress issues, I would be able to think clearly when it came to making this vision happen. So it initially started with meditation, going within, finding the answers within, being able to shut down the chatter of my thoughts, because it was my thoughts that were creating certain situations. It was because there were fear attached to certain situations and certain thoughts because of certain experiences in my life happening that were traumatic. Just to share with you, this past July, my son passed away, and I have to smile to keep from, crying about that situation. And, I'm healing from that. I'm healing from that situation. I'm able to talk about this situation continuously. But that experience was a very traumatic experience, and certain parts of me kind of shut down. Like, I wasn't able to think clear. I couldn't make rational decisions at times. You know, I couldn't make clear decisions, should I say, because of that experience and previous experiences to that. You know, during that phase, I was homeless because of certain situations and how certain things played out in my life. Prior to that, due to post-traumatic stress and not being able to think clearly, everything started falling apart. And this was because in my mind, I was already in a state of being fearful. And more circumstances, I attracted myself to more and more of those circumstances because I was already in that vibration of survival mode, of attaching fear to certain situations and not being able to sit and listen and gain clarity to find that open window to escape from these experiences. So it wasn't until all these events happened to finally get me into the place of, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep experiencing life as it is? Keep experiencing the same patterns, which they were. They were patterns because these psychological imprints that I held on to seem to continue to repeat themselves because this is how I experience life. This is what I decided to make my life to be. Because of an experience. I held on to that experience way too long. Instead of taking it as an experience, I made it my reality. Time and time and time. Over and over and over again. And if you're led to watch this video, you know exactly what I'm saying. This is where I awakened to who I was as a manifester. Life was not just happening to me. I was creating my reality because of these imprints. Some from childhood, even some from past life experiences. Now, a lot of people may not believe in reincarnation. A lot of people may not believe in having no other life than the one that they're living right now, which is fine. But in my experience, I can only say in my experience, I've experienced being in different realms of reality, being in different realms, spiritual realms. I am one of those individuals who astral travel. And from my understanding, we all do. We just prevent it from happening or forget. Like when we're dreaming, sometimes we are astral traveling when we're dreaming, when we're sleeping. But, okay, so I've been able to experience going through the galaxy, feeling this, shifting who I was as an individual. I remember on the other side, I spoke to a guy. I don't know who he was. To me, he was Caucasian. I don't know. But I spoke to this guy and, I'm like, so I can be anybody I want to be? He said, yes. I said, and I asked again, I could be anybody I want to be. He said, yes. And instantly I turned into a bird. And that feeling was the most amazing feeling ever. And I say this with passion because in this body, I'm not going to say that it's not possible, but this is what this body is for, is to experience emotions. But birds don't have the same emotions as we do. Getting the job done. I'm just kidding. So, back to this whole bird thing. When I was a bird, I felt absolutely nothing. All I could feel was the wind beneath my wings, and I'm saying this in a literal sense. I felt the coolness of the air. There was no fear. There was nothing. It was just like a sense of freedom, really. So pulling it back in, the Rams, you know, I forgot what I was saying. I knew I was going to forget because of my son. I'm going to blame him. So we were talking about Virgo, right? I'm going to have to pause. I don't know where I left off at, but I'm back. Let's go back to the story though. I was creating these circumstances to happen. And this is the way that I triggered myself to wake up to who I truly was. So I took responsibility of these things that were happening over and over again. I took responsibility of it. Like, I'm actually attracting this. I'm repeating these series of events for a reason. Okay, I take responsibility. Now I'm going within because I can't think. And I was led to meditate. I was led to do a certain meditation technique called TM, Transcendental Meditation. And this technique teaches you to go within, past all the chatter to a very still place within you where there is no thoughts, because we create our thoughts. Okay, so I learned this meditation technique. Started going within, doing the meditation, and paying attention to the signs that the universe was giving me. Being very aware of the signs, not really knowing what they meant. Having some type of, I guess, instinct to it. But not really knowing for sure. And then kept going in. Till finally, I created a situation where I said enough was enough. And I walked away from the situation. The way that the circumstances played out, you know, I had no choice but to walk away from the situation. But I made up in my mind to say enough was enough. I'm now consciously focused on creating what I do want. And the first few days of that decision, things started really manifesting for me. And this is all leading up to the full moon, you guys. I think it started around the new moon. I think it did. The eclipse. And up until now, walking away from that situation, I reconnected with the aspect of my past that I was able to revisit and heal from. Because in that element of my past, that aspect of my past, that's where I gained a lot of my relationship and emotional imprints from, that I noticed playing out in relationships thereafter. It's a lot of very personal stories when it came to that particular relationship. And it was almost like damage was done on both ends because of the level of immaturity that we went into the relationship with. not being mature, not being conscious, but that's the whole purpose of relationships, to learn and grow from them. Our situation took a trip to hell, I would say, to the point where things were very devastating, creating that post-traumatic stress disorder within me. But I started mastering some aspects of myself, finding out, the things that I was running from. One thing that I realize now that I ran from was my anger. I suppressed my anger. I suppressed my temper, because first and foremost, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a fire sign. But I know when I was younger, and when a lot of those imprints were ingrained, I was so in my fire element. I was aggressive. I had a terrible temper. I wouldn't say the worst, but I had a terrible temper. And there was a level of arrogance that I exhibit. And that has to do with my rising sign, Aries. I have a rising sign of Aries. And so those fire elements, and by the way, Scorpio moon. So all those elements were in its raw state. And that was me walking in my power, but not mastering myself. So a lot of people got burnt. I've learned a lot to the point where it made me suppress those things, because I realized how I hurt people, being aggressive, being angry. I realized it was a lot of situations that didn't necessarily have to go a certain type of way. But that was a learning experience. And in that learning experience, I totally surrendered that power. Like, no. I will be a walkover. I will be a pushover. And maybe in my mind, I felt like I deserved it. But, and that's not to say that there was nothing done to me. Like, I was the total aggressive person. It was a mutual exchange, but I saw my part that I played in it. So I didn't want to be that person no more. So I suppressed. I would get angry, but it would be like in a passive aggressive way. Where I just would not talk to you. I wouldn't talk to you. If I was angry with you, I would have nothing to say. And I'm working on that. Like, that's something that I'm working on, because I still have a tendency to be like that a little bit. But I'm a lot mature to where I can talk. But inside, I'll be stewing. And I'm mastering that. That anger is coming up for a reason, to channel it in the proper way, because I was also led to watch the movie Matilda. And through her anger, she was able to tap into her telekinesis, moving things, and I feel like at that time, because me rediscovering this anger that I had led up to the point of me watching that movie Matilda. But okay, let me go back a little bit further, or a little bit back, where I left the situation that was no longer serving me, and noticed that I started manifesting the things that I needed in life. I didn't have to worry about food, because I don't work. I'm not a part of corporate America, and I refuse to work for another corporation, because if y'all watched that video when I was on camera crying, that feeling was totally disheartening, to do something that you know in your soul that is not for you. So that was released from me in a very odd way. So yeah. So after me leaving, in a couple of days, I started manifesting things. The car that I was given took a few months to get to me. And it happened around the time I let go, around the solar, I think that was the solar eclipse. I manifested a car. I manifested a 5-day, all inclusive, I might as well say, trip to Tennessee in the resorts at an indoor water park that I was blessed to spend with my children. I manifested living quarters for a temporary amount of time, but I'm trusting in my heart that this is something more stable. I'm manifesting those survival stresses that I had, because I forgot to mention, like, I was talking about that, but then I got distracted. From the moment that I had my son, I hit rock bottom. Like, I was homeless. I was living in the hospital with my son. I was living at a friend's, staying at a friend's, staying in places of business just to keep shelter over me. Still standing on what I believed in, but somewhat budging to the fact that, okay, I'm not manifesting these things. These things aren't happening as far as a home for my family. So, I kind of went against what I believed and started working at a job that I didn't want to work. And a few weeks of me doing that, the job ended. So still in that same thought process, not being able to think clearly, I manifested another job where that ended very similar to the first way that the first job ended. So I was like, okay, I'm tired. Like, what do I need to do? And I had to clear my slate. So once I cleared my slate, going in, I started manifesting the things that I needed. The vacation helped me realize the hidden power within my anger. So I put that to the test. I spoke some things into the universe through my anger. And I started manifesting a little bit more. Like, things were just naturally and still naturally coming to me. I would think something. Like this board right here. This cork board. I wanted this. I manifested this. And I didn't have to pay nothing for it. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I wanted to manifest a cork board for my vision board. This is my first time doing a vision board. And voila. These are some things that I want for my life, that I desire, that will be manifested, that are manifesting. I haven't finished the board because I'm still manifesting magazines. Like, life is all about manifesting for me now. I'm just saying. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that clearly, but it says 10K in 30 days. I was inspired by that. This is what I want my monthly salary to look like. Working off of my talents, my gifts, and my natural abilities. 10K, 30 days. I don't want to work for nobody. Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't want to work for a corporation, but I want to be my own enterprise. You know, I am my own boss. That's how I feel. I also wrote myself a personal check for $44 million to be cashed within a year. At first, I said by April 1st, 2018. But I was like, okay, Nicole, let's be a little bit more practical. Let's make it within about a year. More so, I think this will be a year and 1 month maybe. So 11. And that was done unintentional, actually. So yeah. I'm manifesting right now. I'm in the state of manifesting, and I'm going to relax and manifest. I'm not going to worry another day longer. I'm just going to allow to be open, to just be, to experience, to fight, to stop fighting resistance, and standing in my true power as the manifester I am. When you start seeing things manifest for you, you get a little bit more confident. And, you know, I'm just sharing this with you all. If you're confident that you're manifesting just the small things that you need in everyday life, just imagine what more will come to you. Just imagine what more will come to me. I have to speak to myself. Encourage yourself. Okay, so this is the new. This is our new perspective. Like, you're standing in your true power. If you are a part of my soul group, you're believing in your manifesting abilities or whatever gifts that come to you. I am a manifester. I am a bridge. I pull from heaven to bring down to earth, not just for myself, but for all of those concerned and for our highest good. So I'm standing in my true power. As you saw, the lights flickered in the very beginning before we even got started. I'm standing in my true power as the spiritual being that I am. Will there be some doubts? I don't know. But I believe that the self-doubts are fading. Whatever remaining self-doubts are going to be cleared. So yeah, let us get into the reading for this post full moon in Virgo. I am gonna be pulling from the Archangel Power Tarot card deck. I know I don't really have to do this any longer, like showing you the decks. If anyone's interested in a deck that I'm using, please feel free to leave a comment and ask below. So, let's shuffle these cards and see what this post full moon in Virgo energy brings us. I initially wanted to go for 5. So, but we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the underlying card here. Okay, so for the underlying energy, we have the Knight of Raphael. Committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So for the post full moon energy, seems like we are being presented with the opportunity to love. And I would say that Virgo is most definitely that earth sign about making things happen and creating commitments to, certain things manifesting and certain things happening. But this energy is also bringing in a very sweet energy of romance. Romance is in the air. I'm going to pull a clarifying card with that. This is brought on by the intention set. This is also bringing harmony into life, a balance. Things just naturally coming together, playing as it is. The good and the bad all coming together. And this is all from your intentions that you've made. And I feel like this has been long-term intentions that you wanted to see for yourself, especially when it comes to love. I feel like a situation or a relationship that you hold or a person that you hold very dear to your heart is going to really make themselves known within the coming weeks, if not next week. And they come with intentions to bring peace and harmony and balance to your life. Whatever romantic message comes to you, the intention is to bring harmony to you, to put your heart at ease. Some may come forth wanting more commitment or wanting a deeper commitment. A situation may turn around. Someone new may come in, that really gets your heart going. And this will feel like the one. Being that is the energy that this new moon wants to, or full moon wants to portray, I'm going to pull a romance angel card to correspond with that. Separation. And this could be somebody that you have to separate from. Someone that you had to let go of. Okay. Next card, we have Five of Michael. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome, considering taking a more uplifting approach. So, when it comes to this person or to this romantic relationship, whoever this person is, and it feels like I said someone from the past that you have to separate from. Or it could have come through a separation, this person who's presenting themselves to you now. Spirit is saying that the situation doesn't serve you. if you had certain expectations of this person or how this person may present love to you, you may have expected this situation to turn out a certain type of way. Release those attachments to it. Allow it for you to let go and for it to be returned to you how it should, whether that is with the new person or in a more evolved state. Because Spirit is saying, consider taking a more uplifting approach. The way that things were when it came to your relationships, there may have been friction there. There may have been things that triggered you to respond in an emotionally negative way. It made you feel not so good. You know, you might see this person in a negative light, whoever this person is that came from the past or this relationship. You may see it in a negative light. But Spirit is saying, once you cut the attachments to how things should have been or could have been, and just take responsibility, as I was saying, you know, taking responsibility of the role that you played, and seeing that everything happens for a reason and everything taught you the things that you needed to learn. This is you taking a change of perspective or changing your perspective on it. This situation is bringing a lot of clarity as well. With this clarity, you're going to be able to operate in a much more non-triggering type of way to the relationship that did not serve you, or the situation within the relationship, or beliefs in a relationship that did not serve you. Pulling clarifying card for the Five of Michael. We have retreat. So going within, retreating from the situation, standing as the observer and not the victim. This is detaching yourself from the situation. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. This was to teach you a lesson. This was to teach you. This person is committed to you. This person agreed to bring you to your darkest shadow side, to bring it up out of you, to pull you up out of it so you can see it in a new light and stand in your power. This person signed a soul contract with you. This person from the past has taught you to release certain expectations to the situation. Also, another storyline, by retreating, going within, you are attracting your soulmate. So this could be for people who separated from a relationship, who has been separated from a relationship that has brought them a lot of pain, and being reunited with this person into a more committed relationship, or releasing somebody from the past and allowing Spirit to evolve it to a higher state. So the theme of this post full moon reading is letting go. Letting go. Letting God. Allowing Spirit to bring to you that which is of your highest good, whether it be that same thing being evolved to a different state or Spirit bringing you something new, even better. Next card is, once again, we have the number 5. 5 of Ariel. You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. So 5 is the number of harmony, freedom, being free, with this 5 of Ariel, you know that you're supported in this letting go. You are not alone. The universe hears your silent cries for help. Spirit is there with you along the way, by sending you the right people, the right circumstances, just by freeing yourself from that which does not serve you. Because here we have it. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. And as I was saying, when I was in a state of fear, those fearful thoughts created more fearful situations. And this is what this is saying. The situation that did not serve you created negative thoughts that created self-fulfilling prophecies. Now is to release yourself from that outcome of those situations, especially when it comes to relationships. Spirit is guiding you now towards your highest good. Clarifying card. This card wanted to come out. Celebration. Yes. By releasing, you are in a place of celebration. You can now have the relationship that your heart desires. A lot of people are going through this situation, through these type of scenarios. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. As I was saying, this is you evolving into your true power, you becoming enlightened, or empowered. You are standing in your full right as divine being, as a co-creator, as a manifester. All because of love. Can I? Thank you. Close it. Okay. So, next card, we have Page of Michael. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. The Page of Michael, what I'm feeling with this, in this energy, this is the testing of our faith, the testing of what we know we deserve, and still standing on that and believing. The Spirit is obviously saying that we do have everything that it takes, even though, certain things, you had to detach that brought you comfort, because it was very familiar. So this is a new and challenging time. But it is a new and challenging time for what is best. A lot of new opportunities are coming forth. And everything that is being presented to you is being presented to you so you can succeed, and you will succeed. We have balance and miracles. Things are being brought into balance, and the miracles are happening because of one's manifesting abilities. That's the harmony. That's everything, the good and the bad, working together to create these miracles. Yes, you have to let go. But once you let go of what doesn't serve you, you open your hands to what does. Something better could come to you. And this is once again dealing with relationships. Romantic relationships. So, supporting that, we have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Now the things are on an even field. Everyone's had the opportunity to see things from a different perspective or from an overview. Feelings can be discussed because of one's taking responsibility for their own healing work, for their own journey, not placing blame on anyone but themselves, and not even blaming themselves, but just looking at it from an overview standpoint, and probably getting even understanding on why certain triggers happened the way that they did. Or the way that they, I would say, did, because this is now a new time. Being able to be open and honest about the way that they feel. Not hiding. Allowing the walls to come down. Coming from a balanced place. Just really, really, really stating how you feel in all transparency and honesty. And I feel like a lot of these conversations will happen tomorrow, on Sunday, or an early beginning of next week. So we have the 7 of Raphael. Time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detox. Okay. Now that you have a clear understanding of what happened, what's going on in your life, now you have the opportunity to really focus on what you want to manifest. At this time in life, I feel like a lot of us know exactly what it is that we want and what it is that we don't want because of the experiences that we had, especially when it comes to relationships. So now it's time to make a decision to focus and manifest this relationship that you desire, knowing exactly what it is that you want, honestly discussing what it is, how you feel. It's time to make a decision and be clear and take action, no matter what type of distractions get in the way. A lot of people are clearing out all the old junk, all the old storylines that relationships have taught them. I went ahead and pulled a romance angel card. And we have, it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So once we clear our heart of all that old gook, it's open to receive the highest energy of all. And this is the universe giving you back what you want, your heart's desire, because you've cleared the way. Now, this is going to be what you want in its highest form. So be clear about what you want. It's coming to you in its highest form, especially when it comes to relationships. And this is being guarded. The angels are guiding you to make this decision. Like the signs that are leading up to this point of deciding exactly what it is that your heart desires. Because I feel like a lot of people will need that reassurance. Like, okay, is this really what I want? Is this because of fear? But the universe is showing you and giving you signs like, yes, this is it. This is it. This is finally it. It's safe for you to finally love when it comes to this relationship. We have the 10 of Gabriel. Ask your angels for help, helpful people to lighten your load. Working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. That way of being no longer exists. Working too hard to please people. Putting in too much effort when it comes to relationships and it's still not working out the way that you want. Giving too much of yourself and not having it returned. The universe is sending you people, sending people in your life now to give you unconditional love, to show you what love, like mutual love, feels like. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but this is just because your heart is open to receive it. And these people are sent to help lighten your load when it comes to these heavy emotions that you may have been carrying coming out of a bruised situation with a certain individual, or a relationship that was just really challenging. The angels are sending supportive people to help lift your vibrations, to help you to attract the highest energy of all. Where you don't have to try to be anyone but you. Where you're not trying. You're just effortlessly standing in your power, being empowered to be authentic, being yourself. We have dreams. Some of these messages may come through dreams, but this is feeling more so like your dreams are coming true. Those things that have been germinating underneath the surface are finally getting ready to burst forth into something new. The things of your heart's desires that laid in the dark are coming forth now. Your dreams are finally happening. When it comes to feeling supported and feeling loved, this, I feel like, is a process though. Because we have let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Stop working so hard. When you are in a state of manifestation, you just rest and just allow the universe to work for you. Now is the time to stop putting in so much effort and just allow things to naturally, effortlessly happen. And if you're led to do something, go by the leading of your heart and not by pure force and ambition to just finally get it done. Allow things to just naturally flow to you. Don't force the situation. Allow it to happen naturally. The only major arcana card that we have this reading is the Lovers. Make choices from your heart. Deeply emotional commitments. The power of love. See, by allowing the universe to send people to love you, and it to be a mutual exchange, but to allow the universe to send people to support you and love you, it's creating this energy where you're absorbing the love of the universe, however it may come. And this is, in turn, lifting up your vibration to manifest, because you can't manifest in a state of lack. You have to be empowered. You have to stand in love. You have to love your life. You have to love your life in order to manifest. You have to be so deeply in love with what you're trying to manifest, or just in love with life in general. Things will start to attract to you, and as the Lovers, two become one. Things are reunited. It's all because of the power of love and making choices from your heart instead of from a place of fear, lack, what we like to call ego. Okay. Self-acceptance. Accepting who you are. Being authentic. Standing in your power. Accepting what your heart is telling you. Because a lot of people try to deny what their heart says and try to think it out. Try to control the situation and do. But you have to accept that at the end of the day, your heart wins. And the power of love wins. Through this, ideas and inspiration will flow. Being in the power of love. Choosing from the heart. The heart brings inspiration to achieve even more. Through this relationship, this partnership, ideas are going to start to flow. And I feel like it has to do with money, with your prosperity. Yep. When you are like so in love with life, you attract love to you. You're in a state of love and anything can happen. Love transforms everything. People who are in love with their life are rich. They're probably rich in heart, but it reflects outwardly. So we have, with that, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This commitment, this emotional commitment is also bringing some type of financial prosperity. I've always said, for whatever reason, love and finances go hand in hand. And I feel like this is exactly what this is bringing. This partnership that's coming together is finally manifesting your prosperity, whatever that means to you. Here we have the Three of Gabriel. It says prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. That's very, very self-explanatory. whatever, I know I said it's self-explanatory, but whatever plans you have when it came to your prosperity and how you will make money, by you being so in love with your life and just being so in love, you're going to bring these things to you through divine guidance. This is all going to come, like the inspiration, everything that comes to you is going to come through divine guidance. I keep dropping cards. I know I have like a boatload to manifest because I said I will not live my life like I did another day in this life to come. So we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So just trust. Divine timing is everything. You have to know that. If things didn't necessarily turn out how you expected it to turn out, when you wanted it to, know that divine timing, like everything that happened that led up to the point of you reconnecting with this person or connecting with this person after all of the heartache and pain, it's all because of divine timing. These things had to happen for you to get to a point in your life where enough was enough, and then you decided, making that decision to move forward for your highest good and not allow those same things to be a hindrance to you again. Okay. I'm gonna pull a guidance card here. Angel of Clearing. Your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over. So know that everything is working out. Know that if you feel like you're in the dark about some certain things in your life, and you know that need of control is wanting to come through again, know that time of waiting, that the divine timing is soon over. You are now manifesting your heart's desires. Okay. Advice card. Breathe, forest. Your breathing is too shallow. Although it may feel natural, it is an unhealthy habit that causes a shortness of breath. When you subconsciously shorten your breath, no matter if it's habitual or triggered by some event or circumstance, it activates certain psychological signals that prepare your system for fight or flight, other known as post-traumatic stress disorder. Another conditioned response to perceived danger is to hold your breath. This is your survival response, although it does not serve you to do so. So breathe. Inhale deeply, regardless of your concerns, worries, or problems. Then let it go. Next, allow yourself to breathe a little deeper and slower a few times. Remember that every breath you inhale is a gift, and every breath you exhale is a gift. The forest is a clear reminder of how this works. So, during this time, just breathe. Breathe. let it go. And we're going to do one final card from Rumi Oracle as a final guidance card. Okay. We have El Uza, Star of Venus. Number 26. Which equals 8. 2 plus 6 is 8, which is the number of power. So let us read the message for El Uza, Star of Venus. Okay. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. Rumi. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing, to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness pure, in divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all the oneness of the greatest love. The Star of Venus is the great androgen, neither solely masculine nor feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When the star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising to our more limited mindset and belief systems. With great blessings, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power, and the opportunities and assistance we need. Yet it is still we who take the journey. The greatest spiritual journey for all souls at this time in Earth's history is the journey from duality to oneness. Many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle comes to you as a reminder that you, too, have been granted a ticket for that journey. This journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it. It is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. Didn't I say that? It is about embracing the awe of finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. To take the great transformation from man or woman into cosmic androgen does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from each other. Our masculine clarity with its discernment, practicality, and application becomes so tender, loving, and compassionate, and tempered with grace that the feminine is integrated with it. Our feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life become so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevails. With this great androgynous integration of the masculine and feminine into oneness, men and women of this beautiful earth become capable of new consciousness. It is one based in love, of service to life, of letting go of judgment, stereotypes, and limited belief systems, and of opening up to compassion for all life. As the consciousness is anchored, spiritual growth becomes rapid. This is not necessarily without some bumps and bruises. Letting go of old notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, to be masculine or feminine. Letting go of fear of woman or man, of emasculation or victimization. Letting go of woundings are all great steps forward. They promise liberation, empowerment, and compassion, as well as peace and happiness. Yet, they are not easy steps to take. Great resistance can be evoked within you as an individual and also with the culture around you, which might find your notion of personal spiritual empowerment confronting and challenging to their culture of fear-based enslavement of the soul. They will be right about it being confronting, but mistaken in assuming that the confrontation is something best resisted. So, then what to do? Al-Uzza, the ancient shining one, also known as the Star of Venus, holds much power and strength. Even a small blessing of her light is more powerful than the fear of thousands of, is more powerful than the fear of thousands, if not millions of people. She is known as a worthy ally in battle of any kind, even spiritual battle. Yet, you must, however, stay in line with her way, which is not to fight fear with fear, hate with hate, or anger with anger. Does this mean you should not feel fear, hate, or anger? Of course not. Venus denies no experience. So let yourself feel whatever you feel. The guidance is not to stop being human. Take the next step into the divine human and allowing the star blessing to nestle in your heart so you can shift as you feel the feelings, holding them with compassion, then choosing your own truths that resonate at a far more refined vibration. The rebellious passion of the Star of Venus is that she seeks out whomever is ready to know more fully the truth of divine oneness. Whether the culture around them can acknowledge one of their own becoming more enlightened as a blessing or not, it is a divine gift nevertheless. How liberating it should feel to be truly empowered to live life as you feel is truthful, and to feel completely empowered to allow others to do the same with joy in your heart. You understand that everyone is walking an unfolding path, and that we don't have to understand or justify the path of another to feel peace in our own hearts. If you are stumbling with judgment within yourself, do not fear. The blessing of Venus is coming to you to help you surrender it, to help you find your way through, so that you can now be free. I just noticed the lights. That's the energy. Your guidance then is to trust your path, trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it, possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the paths of others too, for in truth, there is one path and we are all on it. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. That is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming, through bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess or a god, of a human and a sacred animal, integrated as one. I read that wrong. Through bestowal of grace, something more of a god and a goddess, or a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal, integrated as one. This is sacred alchemy, amplified in the star fires of Venus, who loves you as a brother, sister, and honors your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved, shine bright. Sacred honoring ritual. Say aloud, I call upon Rumi, who loves me without condition. And you can say this within your heart as I read. I call upon Rumi, who loves me without condition, beloved of my own soul. Bless me now that I can dispense with limiting notions of what it is to be a man or a woman, that I can become freer to live as one integrated being. May my relationships become richer, freer, empowered, and healing. Al Uzzah, shining one who loves me beyond any condition, may I live truthfully in the light of you, great star of Venus, in your infinite wisdom, love, and conscious grace. Through divinity, mercy, unconditional love, this healing is now begun. Place your hands at your heart in prayer position and bow your head for however long feels right for you. When you are ready, just say thank you, and you have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Okay. So that sums it up. What I was saying in the beginning, if you caught that, how the energies are leading one to stand in their own power, claiming their own divinity, claiming their divine birthright, being empowered. So if you found this reading helpful, check me out on themoderndaysage.com to book your own reading. In the near future, for those who are interested in becoming more enlightened in thought and consciousness, I'm going to be offering mentoring sessions, well, what I consider the intuitive life coaching, very soon. I'm offering it now on an individual basis, but I'm thinking of making this more so a monthly service of some sort. If you'd like to book a reading, contact me on themoderndaysage.com or on Facebook. All my links are below in the bio. Till next time, thank you for joining, and love and light.